Hello BookTube, I'm back. I just want to say thank you so much for sticking by me even though I haven't been uploading very regularly or really keeping much track of what I'm doing. So I've been alone all morning and now I haven't spoken to anyone all day, and this often happens when I have to come to film, so then I have to talk out loud quite a bit, which gets me into the bad habit of talking to myself all the time. Anyway, not important. What is important is that you guys are still here and still following me and still watching me, and thank you so much for subscribing. So the book that I read for last week that I'm finally uploading today, that was supposed to be out on Friday, was my Halloween book, for which I read Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice, and it was absolutely amazing. So I read it because it was Halloween and I wanted something a bit in theme. Here it is. I really liked it. It follows the story of 3 vampires really, but it's told from the perspective of just one of the vampires. And it's a conversational piece between a young man who meets the vampire and interviews him, obviously. It does what it says on the cover, but it's very interesting, the story of the vampire and, well, just his life storyline basically. So this book is not about vampires, not really. It's more an exploration of the concepts of mortality and morality. It's good because it draws you into this world of immortality, but it focuses very much on how you should live the life that you do have. I do tend to find extra deep hidden meaning in like everything I read, but I don't think it's just because I find it, I think it's because it's written in there. It's absolutely brilliant. So it's a very deep book, and it has a great storyline, and that is a great combination in my opinion. So it's a remarkably written book. Anne Rice is an amazing wordsmith. It's a brilliant story. However, you don't want that, just throw it on the floor. However, I didn't like the ending. I felt like it didn't really end. I mean, I'm not sure how I wanted it to end, but it left me wanting more, which I suppose is good because now I'm gonna go look her up and try and find the rest of her stories. It left me a little bit unsatisfied, but not in a good way. Like, everything was so epic and amazing all the way through, and then I guess the very last few bits I was just like, is that all? Is that all? And I guess it's not all because vampires are immortal and the story is gonna go on basically for a very long time. That's just where our part of the story ends, our view on the story ends, the interview ends, not where the story ends. It's a very lonely book. So I like stories with great concepts and brilliant depths, with emotions so raw you can't help but be affected by them. I like characters with flaws, characters that react with open emotion, stories that compel you to read them, that entice you into their world, and this is a desperate and empowering book that includes all of that. So I actually enjoyed this novel far more than I thought I would. I don't generally like horror books or creepy anything, as you can tell from my other reviews earlier in the year, but this one I liked because it wasn't forcing anything on me. It wasn't trying to scare me, it wasn't trying to shock me, but it did so because of its very nature. And that really was cool. That was so much better than, you know, waiting for a great plot twist. The entire plot was twisted, which is great, which is so much better. I really felt like it just was so intensely itself that it just expressed itself and its storyline perfectly, and there's somebody vacuuming in the stairwell. The cleaners. It was unashamedly itself, and it was gloriously itself, and Anne Rice is an amazing writer that I look up to, that I greatly look up to, and I'm gonna stop filming right now because that annoying sound is getting louder and louder, and okay. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. The book was fantastic. Sorry I'm so late to finish. It was in Halloween theme. So it really tapped into the well of existential fear that I love to see explored, and okay, cool. I'm gonna edit this and upload it so that you can have it, so that I can read tomorrow's book and get it done for tomorrow. Okay, alright. Goodbye. Thanks so much for watching. How do you turn this thing off?